Madan, Goan and friends. I will not take much of your time. I will speak in English. And my translation will not be done sentence to sentence. But what I said will be told to you by Mr. Gulam Mohamed in 2 minutes. I last visited this place in 14th March last year. So it will become shortly 1 year will be over. Last time when I visited, I told you about the books, what it contains and the main points. I will not repeat it again. Last time I told you about what actually happened in Mumbai attack. How Karkare was killed by taking advantage of elite's attack. The elite had planned the attack. The fact was known to the IB, but it was hidden. It was not informed. It was not told to Mumbai police. And this information was given to some elements who were planning to overthrow this government, who were planning to knock down the constitution and establish Brahmanist Rashtra in the name of Hindu Rashtra. You should understand this difference, Brahmanist and Hindus, and how it happened and how they arranged parallel attack. The attack on Taj, Oberoi and Nariman House was real, but the attack in CST, Kama and Rangabhavan Lane where Karkare was killed was not a real attack by the Pakistan terrorists. That was the attack by Abhinav Bharat terrorists. That was the subject of my book, and that I have briefed you in detail in my last visit. Now I am not going to repeat it again. Over the year, lot of developments have taken place. So that I am going to tell you. How Mr. Radhakant Yadav came in picture. I visited this place in March. In April, Mr. Radhakant Yadav, when he read the book, he was convinced about the contents of the book. And he filed a petition in the Supreme Court. He made 2 demands. One, the Mumbai attack case should be reinvestigated. And second, all the blast cases that had taken place since, say, 2005 should be reinvestigated by a special committee. These various 2 demands in the Supreme Court. But Supreme Court directed him to the High Court. He said, you have to first move the High Court and then you come to the Supreme Court. That is why Mr. Radhakant Yadav he filed a petition in Mumbai High Court only in respect of Mumbai attack case. But by the time he filed this, one more development had taken place. The decision of the trial court in Mumbai attack case was pronounced, in which Ajmal Kasab was convicted and sentenced to death. But in the judgment, when Mr. Radhakant Yadav went through the judgment, he found many facts in the judgment itself which confirm my theory, which vindicated my points. So, when he filed a petition in Mumbai High Court, he, in addition to the points in my book, he mentioned some points from the judgment of the trial court. He added some more points from the High Court, from the trial court judgment, and he showed that the points mentioned by me in my book have been confirmed by the judgment of the trial court. And when the High Court read the petition, the court was also convinced. And he issued a notice. He issued a notice to the central government, to the state government, to the Mumbai police, and said, you give reply on the points mentioned by Mr. Radha in his petition. This notice was issued, this order was issued in August 2010. 6 months have passed. 6 months have passed. Neither the central government, nor the state government, nor the Mumbai police have been able to reply these points satisfactorily. Central government said, for the time being, we don't want to reply. State government was trying to avoid. Then he directed the Commissioner of Police Mumbai to give his reply. His petition is of about 60 pages, and Commissioner of Police Mumbai gave reply in 2 pages. The naturally court was not satisfied. Then court called the Advocate General of Maharashtra state, and he said, if you don't want to give replies to the whole petition, at least you give replies to 5 specific points. He gave 5 to 6 specific points. One, had the IB received information about LET's attack? If so, whether that information was sent to Mumbai police, whether that information was given to Western Naval Command. That was the first question. Second, where the IB had received from the RAW the numbers of 35 mobile numbers which were likely to be used by elite terrorists. Third, whether all these fellows, all these terrorists spoke to their bosses, in Pakistan for 284 times. But these 2 terrorists in CST, Kama and Rangamon area did not speak even once. Whether it is a fact and whether you have inquired into it. That was one of the questions. One more question was whether 2 mobiles which had fallen down from the 2 terrorists in CST were seized by the police and were traced to Satara district of Maharashtra. Whether all the CCTV cameras in the CST where all this shootout took place were shut off on that day, and if so, why? Whether the terrorist in Kama hospital spoke in Marathi and one very senior IAS officer confirmed this fact, whether this is a fact. There were 5 to 6 questions. Then court ultimately called the Advocate General and said, at least give me answers to these questions. But so far, they have not given a satisfactory replies to all these questions. So this has confirmed that IB had the information. IB did not pass it on to the police, and IB gave this information to the forces who wanted to eliminate Karkare. Thus has been. This will, when this petition will be heard finally, this will be confirmed. But at least there is a scope for suspicion today. Now IB's role. Why this matter is very serious? IB is the premier intelligence agency of our country, on which depends the security of our country. If the premier intelligence agency of our country is hand in glove with some communal elements which are bent upon to overthrow the constitution and bent upon to establish Hindu Rashtra, and for this end, if the IB is allowing Pakistani terrorists to come and attack Mumbai, this is a very serious matter and we have to be very careful. That the communal forces who are bent upon creating a Hindu Rashtra and IB, they have the same agenda. This has been proved. This has again been proved in the recent investigation of the blast cases. You might have heard about Ajmal blast case. You have heard about Mecca Masjid blast case. You have heard about Samjhota blast case and Malegaon blast case of 2006. In all these cases previously, innocent Muslim boys had been arrested. But now recently, National Investigation Agency has detected all these cases and they have found that RSS Pracharaks, RSS elements were involved in all these cases. And Mr. Asimanand has confirmed this. Mr. Asimanand's confessional statement is the most important piece of evidence. Because he has not given this confession once. He has given confession three times in 3 different courts. And he has stuck to his guns. He is not ready to, because these RSS and their advocates, they try to create an impression that he might have given the confessional statement under pressure. But he repeatedly said, I have not given it under pressure, I have given it voluntarily, and this is the correct situation. But this is not the first time that these facts have come to light. As Mr. Radha in his speech said, Mr. Hemant Karkare, in the course of the investigation of Malegaon blast case of 2008, has revealed all these facts. If you read my book, if you read chapter number 5 and 8, which are connected with Malegaon case, you will come to know that in the narco-analysis test, Lieutenant Colonel Purohit and Pragya Singh Thakur, they had admitted that they were responsible for these blasts. Even in one of the meetings, the proceedings of which are contained in one of the laptops, Major Upadhyay is saying that all these blasts have not been caused by ISI or any other organization, they have been caused by our people. The intention was that to create such blasts and blame them on Muslim, so that an anti-Muslim atmosphere is created and there is anarchy, so that they can overthrow the government and establish Hindu Rashtra. That was their plan. So all these things have come to light even before. But the IB, which is more Brahmanist than RSS, and the mainstream media, which has mainly been controlled by these elements, they have suppressed these facts. They did not allow the public to know about these facts. But after this NIA's investigation, they had no option but to make it public, and now everybody knows what are the facts. But when all these blast investigations have been completed, one more very important fact has come to light, and when these blasts had taken place in different states, like Makkah Masjid took place in Andhra Pradesh, Ajmal blast took place in Rajasthan state, Samjhota blast was in Haryana state, Malegaon was in Maharashtra state, and the investigation was done by the local police of those states. But how come in all these cases Muslims were arrested and they were interlinked, and it was established that they belong to some terrorist organization? Who did it? If you read my book, especially chapter 3 carefully, you will come to know, though the investigation was done by the local police, the state police, the wrong input was given by IB in all these cases. So IB is mainly responsible for arrest of innocent Muslim boys in all the blast cases. But IB has become so powerful that they are not allowing the government. IB is more powerful than the government. IB is the single most powerful organization in the country. And they are controlling everything. They are controlling the central government, they are controlling the state government, they are controlling the police machinery. So, here on the one hand, IB is controlling the brains of all the governments. And here, the mainstream media is controlling the brains of all our general public. So, in short, the Brahminist elements are controlling both the government and the public. So, public do not come to know what are the facts. Even when such bizarre facts have come to light, no action is being taken against the IB officers or the state officers who are responsible for the arrest of these innocent people. So, these are very important things that we should know. How IB is responsible for all these matters so long. Till my book was published, people were not aware what IB is. People were aware about CBI or all other organizations, but about the IB, because IB was keeping a low profile and they were managing the whole affair. I can make this bold statement that IB is responsible for all the communal problems in our country. Unless this IB is revamped and IB is purged of all the elements, the Brahminist elements who are entrenched in those organizations, the peace will not come to this country. That is my confidence. And I can tell you on any platform or any channel, wherever you want to. And I am prepared to argue this point with anybody on any platform. But nobody is coming forward. They may say anything about my book, about me behind my back, but nobody is ready to confront with me. This is the fact. So, now we should understand. Now, in view of these facts, if at all, not only Muslims, but all secular-minded people of this country, if they want to make the demands, they should make only 5 demands before the government. Mr. Gulam Mohamed Sahab, this is an important point I am telling, just one more. Henceforth, we can make only 5 demands. One, now the elections are coming. Some of your parties, they are a partner in the UPA government. You can also pressurize these parties also. First and foremost, one, that is complete total revamping of IB and purging the IB of all the Brahminist elements. That should be our first demand. Second, all those state officers who, on the basis of the IB's inputs, without doing any investigation, arrested innocent boys, they should not only be acted upon, but they should be prosecuted and arrested. That should be our second demand. Both your demands are there in your this thing. Third, that demand is also there. Third demand is all the innocent Muslim boys who had not committed, who had not done the blast, but who were wrongly arrested, should be immediately released. Fourth demand, which is not included in your resolution, is that all the blast cases which have taken place since 2005 should be reinvestigated by an independent, impartial committee comprising of some judges, some senior police officers from different states whose secular credentials, whose political credentials are very clear. A separate team should be formed, and under the supervision of a Supreme Court or a High Court judge, these investigations should be done. And demand number 5, which is very important, which has also not been included. Because whatever facts have come to light, they have come to our knowledge from the 2 laptops that have been recovered from Lieutenant Colonel Purohit and Dayanand Pandey. In those laptops, the proceedings of at least 15 to 20 minutes of Abhinav Bharat, they have been recorded and fed into those two laptops. When Hemant Karkare was alive and he was investigating Malegaon blast case, he had transcribed only the proceeding of 2 meetings, and those proceedings are available with us. But what about those remaining 18 or 15 meetings? Their proceedings have not yet come to the light. So what happened to those meetings? What all these 2-3 laptops contain? If all these facts are made public, then all the elements who are sympathetic to the Hindu Rashtra, who were supporting the cause of Hindu Rashtra,